Hello, I'm Kimberly, and welcome to the weekend edition of the Native News Update. It's Friday, April 19th, and many of the stories you hear here can be found at IndianCountryTV.com. And here's the news for the day from the Associated Press and other Native news sources. The Tohono O'odham Nation is taking action to officially oppose a proposed pipeline project in the Altar Valley. The Sarita Pipeline, a Kinder Morgan project, calls for 59 miles of 36-inch pipe to deliver natural gas from existing pipes in Tucson, Arizona, south through the Altar Valley next to the Tohono O'odham Nation and to the Mexico border. The project could harm up to 60 sacred and significant cultural resource sites, including Baboquivari Peak, village sites, trash mounds, and quarries. The company has had meetings with tribal officials and acknowledges in a report that Baboquivari Peak has special religious significance to members of the Tohono O'odham Nation. In another report, the company acknowledges the planned development would likely cross areas of archaeological significance. The report says the company will avoid archaeological sites by setting up 50-foot buffers around them, but some buffer zones may be less than 50 feet wide. Fencing would be put up to avoid accidental impacts, and archaeologists will monitor impacts of the construction on some sites. Survival International supporters will protest outside Peruvian embassies and consulates around the world on April 23rd to call for an end to the deadly expansion of the Camasí gas project in Peru's Amazon rainforest, which puts the lives of uncontacted Indians at risk. Protesters will carry place cards and gas masks symbolizing the lethal effects of the Camasí project on uncontacted tribes in the area, and will hand a petition to the Peruvian embassies and consulates in London, San Francisco, Berlin, Madrid, and Paris. The urgent petition asks Peru's president to stop outsiders and companies from invading uncontacted tribes' land and have been signed by over 120,000 people around the world. Meanwhile, Peru's Ministry of Energy is set to approve a massive expansion of the project, despite a UN's call for the immediate suspension of the work that is likely to prove devastating for the tribes. Keep Michigan Wolves Protected submitted 253,705 signatures to the Secretary of State's office in Michigan that, when certified, will place any plans for a wolf hunting season on hold until Michigan voters decide the issue at the ballot box in November 2014. Across the entire state, hundreds of thousands of residents have spoken with their pens to tell legislators that they were wrong in approving a wolf hunting bill last December. More than 2,000 Michigan residents volunteered for Keep Michigan Wolves Protected to gather signatures during sub-freezing temperatures during more than 700 events statewide. Keep Michigan Wolves Protected is a coalition of animal welfare groups, conservationists, veterinarians, Native American tribes, and faith leaders. For more information, you can check out keepwolvesprotected.com. A farmer and Native American with the Keweenaw Bay Indian community is suing the state of Michigan in federal court over its ban on exotic pigs. Brenda Turin has been farming for 23 years and says the state's action violates her Native American rights. She says the DNR is violating her right to farm, which is protected by the 1842 treaty between the United States and the Lake Superior Band of Chippewa Indians. Under the terms, many rights, including farming, were ensured for Native Americans on designated land off the reservation. At Mahog Farm, Brenda owns at least 1,000 pigs, and they're all raised in closed pens. Her hogs are a unique breed known as the Hogan hog, which is a tastier meat and can withstand the UP weather. Regional Pegaling, a Santa Ynez Band of Chumash tribal elder, was recently appointed to the California Native American Heritage Commission. Pegaling was appointed by Governor Jerry Brown on March 28th and sworn in by Los Angeles Superior Court Judge Deborah Sanchez April 13th. He is a member of the Chumash Maritime Association and has devoted much of his time to restoring the tribe's ancient maritime culture. Pegaling has been instrumental in the building of several traditional Chumash plank canoes and has co-organized the annual canoe crossing of the Santa Barbara Canal since its inception in 2001. He also serves on the Santa Barbara County Local Community Benefit Committee and was elected chairman of the committee in 2010. The 9-member Native American Heritage Commission was established in 1976 to preserve and protect tribal burial grounds from vandalism and destruction. Commissioners work closely with the public, developers, local and federal agencies, educational institutes, and California Native Americans to provide advice and assistance toward the protection and preservation of Native American cultural resources. Actor Wes Studi is set to become the second Native American inducted into the National Cowboy and Western Heritage Museum's Hall of Great Western Performers in Oklahoma City. Studi, best known for his roles in Dances with Wolves and The Last of the Mohicans, will be inducted April 20th. The only other American Indian in the Hall of Great Western Performers is Jay Silverheels, a Canadian Mohawk First Nations actor known for playing Tonto in the 1950s television series The Lone Ranger. And that's another roundup of news from Indian Country on this edition of the Native News Update. I'd like to thank you for joining me, and have a grand day.